Okay, what we're going to do first is we're going to take this glass moving tool using a hacksaw, cut it off, and so I'm going to measure in about an inch. It's always a good idea to mark. Gives us some place to start. And I'll use a hacksaw. This is aluminum or some type of die cast material. This might be a 24 TPI hacksaw. And before I get started, I'm going to utilize the suction cups to hold it steady on the table, and then I'll start cutting on the line. And with hacksaws it takes a little bit of while and it shakes the camera quite a bit. With the miracle of modern cutting technology, I've managed to cut that. Now I'll need to do the same on this one, but we'll repeat that a little bit later. I want to show you how we get the dowels to fit into the end. I've measured the opening of our glass tool, and I know that a 7/8 inch dowel will fit right in there. A little bit thin. Some folks like to use a 1-inch dowel, and we'll just take a look and see how, oh, that doesn't fit very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over, we're going to have to figure how to whittle this down. I've got a sample here. I need to go from this, or no, from this to this. And I'm doing it on a belt sander. You could do it on a lathe. You could rent a beaver and have the beaver knot. You could use a knife. But I have a disc sander, and that's what we're going to use next. When using the disc sander, make sure that you have no loose jewelry, tie, lanyards, because it will rotate in this direction and things will get sucked down into this point here, and that will cause great injury. Now the challenge is to sand this material here and get it down to a point where it will fit into the socket like so. We'll then attach it with some screws on the side. And so what is the next step is my version of how to do this. There are many ways to go about it. You may want to copy me, you may also want to find your own manner. What I've done is added a little fence that I'm going to run my dowel against. I use a square across the front of the sanding disc, and this is clearly a try and fit, and so I have a gap there. Now what I will do is I will index the dowel against it and remove some material. Obviously, I'll clear my table of any tools, and it's going to get noisy. So by holding the dowel tightly against the fence, you can see that I removed some material. This one I probably removed a little bit too much, but sometimes you play and you do waste a little bit of material, but that's just the way it goes. We'll slide that in, see how it fits. I like the way that fits. And so what I'm going to end up doing is taking a little more off. I'll cut that end off, but we'll eventually have something that fits nicely. And so I'll continue on. So you can see I have a reasonably good fit. It doesn't have to be extremely tight because we will put a couple of screws on either side to hold it tight. Our young people that use these grab bars don't have significant strength, but if it proves to be wrong, well, then you maybe remove a little less material, make it fit tighter. You can also use some epoxy glue to hold it in place. Focusing back on our clamp, when I cut with a hacksaw, I sometimes leave a burr here, which is entirely possible. We don't want young children to run into that, and so I need to remove those burrs A mill file works very well. You can use sandpaper. I've even used my disc sander, but we want to take that burr off. And so it's just a matter of running the file across until that burr goes away. Check it for fit. Check it for burrs. You may have to go all the way around and do that. And that's where the sandpaper works kind of nicely. I can use a block sander to just go around and work my way, removing any burrs, sharp edges. I think that's nice. So that gives us a nice area for the student not to get caught on, and that'll just be a little bit safer for them, which is what we like. When drilling the pilot hole, you want to have a drill bit that, if you see the area between the threads, that's the minor diameter of the screw, we want to make sure that the drill is not larger, because then we won't have any bite at all with the threads. This is a suitable sized drill bit, so I'm going to get ready and drill. With it in place, drill a little bit in, not too far. Insert my screw. Use my favorite screwdriver. Tightening it down. We'll repeat the process on this side. When drilling the pilot hole, you want to have a drill bit that, if you see the area between the threads, that's the minor diameter of the screw, we want to make sure that the drill is not larger, because then we won't have any bite at all with the threads. This is a suitable sized drill bit, so I'm going to get ready and drill. With it in place, drill a little bit in, not too far. Insert my screw. Use my favorite screwdriver. Tightening it down. We'll repeat the process on this side. Installed both screws. We now have our horizontal grip. What we'll add to this part is a bike handle, and they're nice and soft. Give kids a little bit better grip action when they do finally use it. I went to my favorite soap dispenser, and you can see that as I slide it on, it works very nicely. We'll wipe all that off and run it all the way to the end. And there it is, your own custom horizontal hold for kids. Great suction cup design. Pretty easy to do. If you want to twist things to make them look even, you can. And there you have it. That's how it's done.